for this, and I really am thankful for this opportunity. It's always, in the midst of our very busy diaries, it's always good to come here and catch up with brothers and sisters, and I'm reminded so much more that we've got such a common tradition and so much that brings us together, and to be gathered here under the auspices of this wonderful organization as well is very heartening, and I think very inspiring for myself at least. I also bring the vision of our church, but also of the Oriental Council of Churches, and His Grace Bishop Vahan, who's the current president. He's not here at the moment. I'm chair at the moment, but we're also very appreciative of all the work that's being done. Egypt, I can turn it into a great sob story of the violins, but that's not our nature. The people of Egypt generally, and the Christians of Egypt in particular, are a very resilient people who have lived one form of persecution or attack or another over the past 2 millennia. And so this really is nothing new. We're indigenous people, and we've faced lots of challenges as time has gone on. Obviously, Egypt as a whole is undergoing a lot of pressure at the moment, and it's a very transient stage, and it's a very insecure stage, where we have a president who was voted in by probably 12% of the population, because only 50% was eligible, only 50% of them turned up, and only 50% of them voted for him. So it really is quite a small support. But more and more now we're getting Islamist control over parliament, over the military, the police, even the governors and the editors of the major newspapers. And so there is this frustration there at the moment, because I'm sure many of you will know that when Parliament was voted in, there was 70% Islamist majority. But then they found it was unconstitutional, so it was dissolved. So now we have a president who's functioning without a parliament. And my fear and what I see and my assessment of the situation is that in Egypt in particular, and I think throughout the Middle East, it is really the street that is ruling the country. Governments, there aren't the powerful governments that there were before. And of course, there were lots of flaws in the regimes that existed before, and authoritarian regimes, but there was a sense of order. Now there is a general sense of disorder. Law and order have broken down. And when that happens, obviously, all the frustration comes at the point of least resistance, which is the Christians, the Christian minority there, because we haven't fought back, we don't intend to. I was traveling back from abroad, and I met an Egyptian gentleman who then I knew was Muslim, and he was one of the people who instigated the uprising. And he said to me, well, when are you going to take up arms and fight for yourselves? And I said, well, we're not. He said, so they're going to kill you, well, so be it. They haven't killed us in 2,000 years, so we're still there. And I really do think that, not being flippant about it, but I think the continued presence of Coptic Christians in Egypt, 2,000 years down the line, as a Christian minority within an Islamic state, within an Islamic region, which is very inflamed at the moment, is only because we've never taken up arms. It's only because we've never fought. It's only because we've tried to live our faith as faithfully as